PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How about this for Sleepy? We're going to go through some receipts and pieces of paper I kept from trips I've made over the past couple of years. My neighbor Ray will reflect on my receipts. More in a way of like, oh, remember that meal? Really calming, lulling stuff. If you're new, welcome to Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to put you to sleep by keeping you company and taking your mind off of stuff. There's no pressure to fall asleep here. But we believe you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a place you can rest. And myself and a lot of other listeners have been there. We know how it feels in the deep, dark night. Now, this show is very different, so give it a few tries to see how it goes. I'm so glad you're here. I really hope I can help. But what's going to happen is we're going to have some support. That's how the show comes out for free. Then a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. You could fall asleep during the intro. Or get comfortable, get cozy, and then my neighbor Ray will come by, and he's got a lulling, soothing voice, a little bit like mine, but he's from Parkchester, so he's got, but he's cool, man. He loves going through we vacation together. So if you're new, let's just see how it goes. I'm so glad you're here. I really hope I can help you fall asleep because you do deserve a place you can get some rest. And it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And these sponsors are what enable me to do it for free twice a week. Hey, everybody, Scoots. Don't forget the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me is on sleep phones. They have a wired version and two different wireless versions, and you could get a Sleep With Me branded one. So don't forget to use our link. That's the only way to get the Sleep With Me versions of the sleep phones is at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones. Check them out. There's a couple different cute little choices made by a friend of Ashley. You got to get yourself some sleep phones. Get over there. Check it out. Not only are sleep phones great to sleep in, especially when you're traveling, they're also terrific for running. So get over there, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones, and use Sleep With Me to get $5 off your order. That's Sleep With Me to get $5 off your order. And you can only get the Sleep With Me versions using that link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it is time for our Sleepy Supporter Zone. It's a part of the podcast that really needs you to hear. It's how we're able to keep the show free for everybody. I'm trying to make these more concise, and I want to thank Nina, who supported ZocDoc. Remember, when you got to use our codes for us to get credit, or tag the company and send them an email, give them a call. But thank you so much, Nina, for supporting ZocDoc. You can find all our sponsors at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. ZocDoc is free, but Nina set up two different appointments using the ZocDoc app. So go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, check out the sponsors, do what Nina did, download the app and start using it, and then let them know about it. Let me know about it so I can thank you here on the Sleepy Supporter Zone like Nina. Thank you, Nina. Second part of Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need right now. There's links to resources in the show notes, including international resources you can connect with right now. If you're having a tough time, it's about being a part of positive change, not just saying Black Lives Matter, not just saying stop AAP, I hate, not just saying support Ukraine, but learning more and taking action. There's links to resources where you could do that right now in the show notes. And it's about being a part of community too. And one of the things we're doing is we're building hygiene kits for people experiencing homelessness. You can join in, just sign up for our newsletter, sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission, sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. And Mystery Bart, a lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. Hannah. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Don't forget, if you support any sponsors, free trials, whatever, please let me know about it. sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. And what do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever is keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind that you're thinking about, thinking thoughts. So thoughts, things, think thoughts about the past, present, the future. Anything going on. It could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally that's coming up. And it could be feelings about the thoughts. It could be just feelings. It could be feelings related to thoughts and the physical sensations. It could be physical sensations. It could be time, temperature, routine. It could be under the weather. That's what happened to me last night. Last night was I'll talk about it in a minute, just so you could know that so I could stay relatable. But whatever it is that's keeping you awake, I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents, all to keep you company while you fall asleep, to take your mind off of stuff. It just means I'm going to go off topic. I'm going to get mixed up. I'm going to repeat myself. My voice is not traditionally soothing. It's more kind of not bad and comforting. I make the show because you deserve a good night's sleep. That's the most important part about this podcast, is the fact that you deserve a bedtime you don't have to dread, that you could look forward to, that has less frustration, and get the rest you need so that your life is more manageable, so that tomorrow you're rested, or, in the morning you don't think about, what last night, or dread going to bed tonight, You deserve that. And if you get the rest you need, your life's going to be better. And our world will be better. If you're out there flourishing, we're all in a better place, and we're all happy for you. Now, for some reason, if this show does not work for you or does not fit your taste and sensibility, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you has other sleepy podcasts and stuff on there. It doesn't change the fact that you deserve a good night's sleep. So that's one thing. The other thing is that I can relate, and a lot of other listeners can relate to how it feels in what it's like. I might not be going through the same thing you're going through, but somebody out there that's listening right now may have, or if not, they can relate, and we can say, hey, I know how it feels. And that happened to me last night, not to kind of, I just say this just so you know you're not alone. Last night I went to bed early, or on time, and I was feeling like a little bit of a COLD, and I said, okay, well, I'm going to go get a good night's sleep here. And that was not in the cards. Getting to sleep or staying asleep was not in the cards for me. And it was all those things, thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations. I had physical sensations coming up because of my cold. Then I had feelings because I just wanted to be asleep, but then I was also, coughing and stuff. And then I had thoughts about that. And I'm not kidding, and this just comes from making the podcast. I tried my different techniques, getting out of bed, reading, taking a break, but at some point in the depths of it, and it was, when I say the depths of it, you've been there was this part of me that said, hey, it's going to be okay. I know you can't fall asleep right now. It's been a few hours, and we've tried everything. It's exasperating, but it's going to be okay. You're okay. You're really okay. And it doesn't always feel that way, and maybe that's not even the case. But having that soothing voice only exists because of all of you teaching me that. And I hope this podcast can be that on a subtextual, that's the subtext, right? It's going to be okay. I'm here to keep you company. That's why this podcast is so hard to get used to, because it's not here to put you to sleep. It's here to keep you company and be your friend in the deep, dark night. I'm here to be your bore friend, your bore bae, your bore sib, your bore bestie, your bore bird. That was my internal bore bae. I didn't even know I had an internal bore bae. What it wasn't actually, because it wasn't like, sweetie, you're gonna be okay. It was you're gonna be okay. So more of a bore bud, I guess. More my best bore bestie, or my neighbor, or my bore burr. That's who cuts my boring. It's like a barber, but just for boring stuff. Actually, they wouldn't cut stuff. They'd just say, no, barbers are additive. We add stuff to your meanders. So this is a podcast that's going to be here. I'm going to be here for over an hour. So if you can't sleep, I'm here to keep you company. Because that's what I could have used really last night. I should have thought of that and said, man, I need something to keep me company while I'm going through this, because I'm going through it. And it was all 3 points were on me. So this show also, you don't really listen to it. It's kind of like background. If you're new, you kind of get used to it, and then you say, oh, this is how I use it. Some people listen to me to mumble. Some people listen to me because I'm here to keep you company. So you could kind of just barely listen, like kind of like an out-of-focus picture or something. So that's listen. Oh, what else you need to know? This is a podcast you don't really listen to. It doesn't really put you to sleep. Takes a few tries to get used to. That's what I've been told over and over again, maybe a million times by people. Takes some getting used to. They say your podcast, it's very, like, at first I didn't like it because I was expecting something else, or I was wondering when it was going to start. And it can be frustrating because if you're like me, and if you were like me last night, and then you searched for a sleep podcast at 2:30 in the morning when you got in bed at 9:30. And then you turn on me, you might be frustrated, and that's understandable. Or especially if you're like, I need something lulling and soothing. But your definition of lulling and soothing, I don't know, because, I don't know, a lot of times stuff I say, it's too nice. I can't listen to it. I need something that's going to comfort me and keep me company, like a bore bud. So it just takes a few tries to get used to, just see how it goes. The other thing that throws people off is the structure of the show. But the show's structured and designed in a very specific way to do a few things, to reach as many people as it can, and then you can kind of adjust. So the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in. And you say, well, I might try that show out. It already, okay, I'm glad you welcomed me into your podcast. One of the few podcasts I actually have to go inside of, but no, you could look at it from the outside. It's one of the podcasts you could look at from the outside, like where you don't feel bad about it. Like, I don't know if that Beatles song, when they said, I'm looking outside, you're on, I don't even know what the lyrics were to that song. But I say, oh, that reminds me. This one, you say, it's totally cool to be on the outside looking in. Normal approach for sleep with me. Normal way to listen even. So that's the start of the show. Then there's support. So the podcast can be free, or paying for it can be optional. And that's just how it gets out to the most amount of people, and just the way we started doing it at the beginning. So the sponsors and the supporters help that's what makes that possible. Then there's the intro, which for some reason people that don't like the support of the show, then they don't like the intro, but they are two separate things. The intro is a show within a show. We're in the middle of it. It's meant to introduce the podcast to new people, but for regular listeners, it's familiar every time, but it's different every time. And that way, maybe whatever parts of us here keeping awake can't quite adjust. And that's kind of where I went. I took the wrong path last night. I tried all of very predictable behaviors. Until actually the thing that worked for me was even though I should have done this earlier, was having some honey. A spoonful of sugar was my medicine that helped me go down last night. That was really the thing that I said, well, okay, let's just try some honey. Maybe that'll help. I'd already tried cough medicine and stuff like that. So it was something. So that's why the intro is different every time. I mean, it would be a lot less work for me to just put out a podcast with a short intro and a bada bada bang. You know, you're going to sleep soon. Here's a great bedtime story. But the reality is the intro is meant to ease you into bedtime as well as being familiar but different, because for most of us, we need some sort of wind down. And that's just what's been shown to work. So you could be listening to this while you're getting ready for bed, or while you're in bed getting comfortable, or you're doing another chill activity. Now, you can fall asleep during it, or you could skip it. There's 2 or 3% of people who start the show at 20 or 30 minutes, and a few thousand people listen to story-only episodes, but those are more part of playlists and stuff like that. So see how it goes, but that's the intro. Then there's support between the intro and the story. Then tonight will be a story from our neighbor Ray talking about mostly Orlando, but a couple East Coast visits over the past few years and meals we ate and stuff like that. And then there'll be thank yous at the end. So it's the structure of the show. It's why I make the show. I'm really glad you're here. I really work hard. You're in a nice drive, and I really hope I can help you fall asleep. Thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple ways I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive. Progressive helps you compare direct auto rates from a variety of companies so you can find a great one, even if it's not with them. Quote today at Progressive.com to find a rate that works with your budget. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. All right, everybody, it is time to talk about tonight's sponsor, ZocDoc. And we all know that group chat you got going or the forum you're in, and that's a place you're extremely unlikely to find quality medical advice. But that advice you're looking for, you could find it from a doctor on ZocDoc. And you know when you got that question in your mind and you're searching on those forums, you're asking in those group chats, you know that question is stewing inside you. But ZocDoc is way better. There are thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc there to help you, and they listen like a friend and give you the expert care you need. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them and treat almost every condition under the sun. And I'm going to look up right now, I'm just going to search because my back has been bothering me. And I just searched for the part of the back that's bothering me. I'm searching for tomorrow. And yeah, there's a bunch of doctors that come up. There's a wow, 4.76, 154 reviews. This one has 153 reviews, 4.97, 60 reviews. So it goes on and on and on. I can make an appointment right here in the app. No more doctor roulette or scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect to your favorite doctor you haven't met yet. Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who's patient-reviewed and fits their needs and their schedule just right. So go to ZocDoc.com/sleep and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/sleep. ZocDoc.com/sleep. But make sure to use that link. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, heads up, just in case this is a lot of listeners' favorite style episode, but not everybody's. This is my neighbor Ray coming on, who I vacation with. I guess every vacation now is with my neighbor Ray, Ray Perkins. He's the most well-adjusted person I've ever met, and always has something to say, and he said he's proud of me, so that's cool, because so we'll set up, we'll go from there. So without further ado, so Ray, I'll talk, I think Ray's just going to go through some of my stuff I'm filing away and from vacations and look at it. So without further ado, Mr. Ray Perkins. Hello, everybody. This is your friend Ray. Just in case you're new to the show, welcome to the podcast. I'm Scooter's neighbor Ray, and I come on the show. I don't know how many years it has been since I've been coming on. I think very early on, though. I was the second guest on the podcast after Bernie the Butterfly. And I know Bernie was on the Thanksgiving episode, so with the parade. I'm Scooter's friend, neighbor twice. So nice, I neighbored him twice. And, Scooter's a bit of a grouch, and tries to lay low. And I'm the one, I say, Flower, open up for everyone. Scooter doesn't call me his spring, but that's the role I see with everybody, not with just Scooter, but I say, hey, open your petals. There's a bumble friend that wants to pollinate, and there's people that want to smell, not metaphorically smell your luxurious tone, whatever, well. But today, I have to tell you, now, I don't want, Scooter said, please don't mention this, because what if I stop following through? And this was not a New Year's thing, but this is when we're recording it. It's early 2023. Scooter's big on using a timer, and he uses a timer to accomplish things he does not want to do. And in some sense, when he's flowing with the timer, he says, Ray, it really works. And he does say, the less I think about things, the better it goes. And I'm sure he's talked about it on the podcast before, but one of the timers he has, because his schedule is very different. There's the days he works from home, and then there's days he works at a co-working space, and to bring the podcast to all of you. And he also works every day. He's trying to cut down on Sundays, but he doesn't always work. None of that. But what's to say is that he has different timers for different places. Because with his work schedule, he also has to pay attention to things at home. So one of the things he does is he calls it his Sunday timer, though he doesn't just use it on Sundays, but we'll pretend, because yesterday actually was Sunday, and this is what happened anyway. And the Sundays are a little bit calmer day for him to work because less people are sending emails. Sunday's like the lowest day of people sending emails, either work-related or listeners sending emails and so Scooter has he says it's a little bit calm of a day. So he does some work, and his goal, I think, for this year is to not work on Sundays, but we'll see. But, you never know. But you could work a little, He says, why is it all or nothing? Maybe Scooter had the option not to work. But he does. So this Sunday, it was a successful day. So last year, at some point, he wanted to get his room more organized. He's trying to make more space in his life for good things. And so so his Sunday timer is 1:15:10. So he has 1 minute where he meditates. You start the timer, it makes a sound, and you meditate for 1 minute. He uses a paid workout timer for this, where you can design your own workouts, which does even though he turned it off, it still tells his Apple Watch he's exercising. He says, what's up with that? But so 1 minute of meditation, then 15 minutes of work. So let's say Scooter was editing or mixing a podcast for 15 minutes. Now, this is only on Sundays because it's a little bit better on other days to have a 1:25:5, which is kind of like a Pomodoro site. But so he does 15 minutes of editing. Then he has 10 minutes of chores. So he was trying to organize his room last year and get it to the point where he could start filing. He was also trying to clear out some space, but within a closet, where he could catch up on his filing, which he started doing, I guess, before the turn of the year, over the holiday season. He was using when he was at home, and over the holidays, a lot of days were like Sundays, just because over the holidays, there just tends to be a lot less email traffic, so he has a little bit more relaxed time or less Zoom calls and things. So he's been filing, and so I said, he does not organize stuff from our vacations except to put it in one place, right? Now, this is a pre-filing. I have a bag of receipts and things, which is, might be strange for some people to seem cluttery. But for me and Scooter, it's like an opportunity to connect with the listeners and take a look back. So there's not just receipts in here. There's other things. So what I'll do is I'll reach in the bag, I'll look at the receipt, and then I'll say, what did we do? So I'm going to go ahead and start here with a few receipts. Okay, the first one is from Disney World. It's a trip from a few years ago. Oh boy, this was with this. We may have covered this one, Scooter. Interesting, but we'll go over it again. And again, I'm assuming Scooter paid for dinner. It was a lunch. So this is an interesting one. So it was a Thanksgiving trip from a few years ago now. Wow, a couple of years ago. And it was with Scooter's parents, his daughter, and we did not have, and myself, and we did not have like a Thanksgiving meal at Thanksgiving, but this was a few days after, and I think it was probably this may have been our last meal together as a group, and the way it worked was, now this was a couple of years ago, so and I haven't been to Disney. And this was kind of like after we took a break, but then we took another break from Disney. Oh, no. So this was before we took our break. Well, because we still had an annual pass that was running out, I think, from a family trip. I think that's when we were there. But so this was when things were still getting back to normal. We were, things were still rocky, everybody was getting used to traveling and working again. It wasn't right during things, but so there's definitely was so in Disney was having trouble with all that because there was such high demand. So they were having issues with staffing, but also with the technology, which still seems, at least in my impression, an ongoing thing. In getting a reservation for a restaurant, it seems like very hard. So we wanted to eat at the the Sci-Fi Dine-In, right? And now you can get on a wait list now, or the app. The one good thing about the app is it says, hey, by the way, there's an open reservation at this restaurant. Now, I'm not sure if Scooter went on the wait list or if it was like, hey, there's an open reservation at this restaurant, but he made a reservation at the Prime Time Cafe, which I think we talked about. We may have even looked at this receipt already, but it'll be good, And it was 2 p.m. when we paid. So I guess we probably ate at 1 p.m., 2:12:05. And the first person had a pot roast and a peanut butter and jelly shake. Someone else had a chocolate shake, a pot roast, and a salad wedge. That sounds, oh no, Scooter's coming up down there. No. Oh, well, that's interesting. That doesn't make any sense either. So, I don't know, I think I talked about it because Scooter had ordered a cherry Coke and it didn't get refilled very much because just people were getting used to working there again. But it had been a while, or maybe they just had less people working, Then someone else had the lunch holiday dinner, which is, your Thanksgiving-style dinner with meat, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry, and they had an NA pomegranate lemonade. PNA, it says, maybe that, I don't know. Then Scooter, this must have been Scooter, he had the fried chicken, but then for some reason they put the other drink on somebody else who only had a soup and a salad, and they had a Diet Coke, Scooter had a cherry Coke. And for 5 people, it wasn't unreasonable for a Disney price, and so that was one meal. And, then this one is just when we went to SeaWorld. Okay, this next one, this is from when we went to, interesting here. Oh, so this was our first time going to Six Flags in Vallejo, California, which I don't know if we recorded anything about that. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back at it. But so this was fall of, was it fall? No, summer? Oh, is that the date? Really, Scooter? Holy moly. That does not make any sense to me. But I guess that's the date that's on here. So I guess it was summer of 2024 after school ended. Because so Scooter, his daughter, and I, she was in a play. So her summer was somewhat busy. And so we didn't get to go to any, we didn't have any theme parks we were traveling to, which I said, Scooter, we're not going to any theme parks this summer. And he said, Ray, you could do whatever you wish. I'm not available to do that. And I said, oh, okay. But he said, why don't we get a Six Flags membership, just a season pass, not an annual pass. And they're also having some ups and downs. We're trying to figure out the pricing and such. But we were lucky because we got a season pass at a price where we could, I think maybe we did do a show about this, but maybe not. It's good we're talking then. Because, so we got the season pass. Scooter thought he bought an annual pass, so he was a little bit miffed, but he said, it was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. But it was pricing-wise, we'll go, I guess we could talk about it now. So I guess it was in June he bought this. Now, by us is in Vallejo, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. With traffic, that's like a Six Flags park. Then there's also a Six Flags water park in another place called Concord. I think I remember talking with everybody about this, but maybe not. And so and then like about 5 hours away is Six Flags Magic Mountain, which we had been to, correct? Right. So Scooter estimated the cost of the annual pass or the season pass, and he said, okay, well, this is a pretty good price. And if we go a few times, we'll break even. That's always his goal, or to make money in his mind. And the annual pass came with a free soda cup, which I'm sure we talked about. And then one meal, free parking, and then any of the Six Flags parks, which they've changed now, which is unfortunate because it does change your mindset. So our mindset going to this place, Scooter had been to this Six Flags, but it had been at least like 10 years, he thinks. And because he said he hadn't been there since he didn't go to Six Flags to drink, but he said, I don't think I've been here since I quit drinking. The Six Flags in Vallejo. He said he just had a memory of it. But so we went there. So Scooter hadn't been there in a long time. His daughter had never been there. And I hadn't been there in a while. But so since we had these season passes and we knew, first of all, the free parking is big because parking is like, if you don't have the pass, I believe it was $30. So Scooter said, oh, okay. If we come here three times, the three of us, each one of us will have spent $30 on parking towards our pass. I don't have the amount of his pass on the top of my mind. And then we went in, we got our soda cups. That took a while because they said, I don't know what you're talking about. So I probably talked about it, but that was a little frustration. But again, everybody's trying to figure this out. And the overall management kept changing the type of passes they were selling. But we got our soda cups. Then we had our meal. But after we got our soda cup, but before we had our meal, his Scooter's daughter said, I'd like to get an icy. Now, at the Universal Parks, if you buy the cup, you get ices too. Now, at Six Flags, you don't. But it's very clear. There's a sign that says it. And they do give you a discount. So this receipt is from it was 1 p.m. and buying an icy refill. Also, you get a discount, 20% off with your annual pass. So $4.30 with tax for the icy is not really that bad. But again, I guess going back to the season passing, we had a very chill outlook when we went there because we said, okay, well, there's no pressure to make sure we ride 20 rides or 10 rides. Also because the changes in the price, the park was very empty. I mean, we did have to wait in line for the most popular ride that was open the day we went, which was the Joker. But then a lot of rides were closed. But again, because we knew we'd be coming back and we didn't pay, we paid more than we would have gone to just go once, but because we knew we were coming back, and if we went 2 more times or 3 times, we would be breaking even. it wasn't like, it was so relaxed, like in kind of long ago when I did that thing about Six Flags Magic Mountain. Now, again, that was at a busiest time for the parks, so it was slightly different mindset. But if you go into Six Flags saying, hey, I'm just going to take it easy and do what I can do, you have a lot more fun. So we had a blast, and this icy was a part of the blast we had. Okay, we got a couple more. Oh, wow. So this one is Universal. What time of year is this? Oh, so this was a time when we went for Scooter's birthday, and this is just a refill. He's paying for his soda cup refill, and you get an annual pass discount on that as well, 10%. And this was one time, so and this hopefully will be a tradition. Now, it's a little bit of a stretch, but Scooter uses miles and then like a hotel credit card. So you go there, usually we already had a universal annual pass, and then Scooter would use his miles and then his hotel. So he would stay, like it would be a very low cost, long weekend. Oh, no, maybe he doesn't use miles, but he has one of those credit cards where once a year he gets a 2-for-1 ticket. So me and him and his daughter can go, and then I pay for, I'm in a position. But then Scooter pays for the hotel and stuff, uses the hotel points. So this one, we met his brother and his wife and their two children at Universal for Scooter's birthday. And actually, Scooter's parents came. And this was a couple of years ago. But he bought a refill of soda, 10:49 a.m., getting that soda refill. Scooter, that's because Scooter needs it. Oh, and this is another receipt from that soda refill. Interesting. Okay, I'm putting my hand back in here, everybody. Okay, so the first thing I have is a pencil from the Fairmount Glen Miniature Golf, which you could check out this episode of the podcast about that. Miniature golf at its best. And that's a miniature golf course from Scooter's childhood that we've gone to, I think, once or twice. And he did an episode about it before we had gone there, I think. And I also have to remind Scooter that he had an idea for a podcast series not based on the miniature golf course, but while we were there, he came up with an idea. And so, yeah, that's the next thing. Okay, this is a CVS receipt from the summer. This one would probably throw away. All I see is it has the rewards, which are probably expired. Expires 2 years ago. I can't see what he bought. Like, that's the whole purpose. But it was in the summertime a few years ago. 60 count of something. I don't know if it was toilet paper. What comes in a 60 count? Toilet paper, maybe? I don't know. Interesting. He only bought, but so that was in the summertime. And I can't see a time on here. So let's scoot. I'm going to throw this one away. Because the whole purpose is like to see, here's a flight. Is this, when was this? Can I see a date on here? San Francisco. Is this like a layover? What is the date here? Well, I don't have a date. So we'll, I don't know. Okay, next up, again, this is a couple years old. This was Scooter, his daughter, and I went out to brunch. I think was this on the day we were leaving? And we were leaving, but we weren't leaving till the afternoon. And so Scooter, his daughter, and I, so we were in Walt Disney World. Now, we weren't leaving till the afternoon to go to the airport, I guess. So Scooter said, why don't we do brunch at Disney Springs and at this place called Art Smith's Homecoming? And it was supposed to be, it was a very, I think it's, it doesn't have what we ordered. So maybe this is just a credit card receipt, but It was good. I think it's known for its biscuits, and I don't know, for brunch. I'm guessing Scooter had fried chicken again. This was a different trip, again, a few years ago. Okay, this one is, I think, from Scooter's birthday. Yeah, he bought him. So for his birthday, that same birthday trip, he bought himself a new Freestyle soda cup, and some pizza tots at Green Eggs and Ham. So it was. So this must have been a different day than he paid for his refill. It was 11:24 a.m. So lunch or snack. Pizza tots are like tater tots with cheese and pepperoni and pizza sauce. And I believe, though, if I'm remembering things correctly, and now I'm picturing this in my head, that Scooter was not hungry at this time, but he was with his nephew Daniel and his daughter. And he said, hey, let me get a soda and some waters and then pizza tots for you two to share for a snack, because I think they said they were hungry. And that would make sense, that a tween and a teen would be hungry at that time. So that was at Green Eggs and Ham, which looks like a green ham, I think. And I believe you can get green eggs and ham. That you could get Who Hash from the Who's, pizza tots, buffalo chicken tots. Those are good as well. And I think you can get green eggs and ham. We've never actually got that. I can think of. We never got green eggs and ham there. Oh boy, here's another old one. And this was a bucket list trip from a few years ago in the summertime with, and maybe like young Charlie sometimes listens to this podcast, but Scooter went to school with somebody named Charlie. And Cheryl and Evie and young Charlie, who's not young, he's the same age as Scooter's daughter. And they all went to a small local theme park called Seabreeze in Rochester, New York. And of course I went, of course. And this is a food receipt from lunch, which was a hot dog with a large drink and fries in something red. I don't know what red means. 11:75 there. Oh, yeah, is there time? 12:50 p.m. And we had a great time. It's a very small theme park. It's like back when, so it's an independent theme park. I don't think they have a dark ride, though. They have a wooden roller coaster. So Scooter had gone there. Maybe we did an episode about it. I'm not sure, but it was a long, long time ago. During his childhood, his mother would arrange, because she had 6 children she had to care for. Sometimes Scooter and his brother and maybe his sister, they would go like on Parks and Rec trips. And there was a Parks and Rec trip from Syracuse Parks and Rec or whatever that went to Seabreeze for the day. And, with the city Parks and Recs department. And so Scooter and his brother went, and a bunch of other children. And Scooter said him and his brother were on the older side. They weren't that old, though. He said, probably, I don't know, it's 6th grade. So Scooter was like, I'd always want to go back there and see what that park is like. And then his friend Charlie said, we go there every summer. Let's meet there. And so that we all met there, and we had a great time. They have fun rides. It's not too busy. A lot of like school trips or like summer day camp trips, or people dropping the children off for the day because it's self-contained. And it's right on Lake Ontario, or right off of Lake Ontario Inlet. So beautiful view. And just something you don't see a lot of anymore, unfortunately, like independent theme park that you pay one price and go into, because there's boardwalks now. But those ones you pay per individual attraction. With this one, it was you go in, and they had it was like better than a county fair, and one price as compared to a boardwalk, and also probably a very low price. Okay, so this one is I don't think we done an episode about this. I don't know. This is one of my favorite resorts. I wish we could stay there more often. And the last time we looked, the pricing was a little bit not under control yet. But usually the pricing is very good. It's in Orlando. Oh, yeah, maybe our Father's Day episode took place there. I think we did one other episode that took place here. A lot of highlights for Scooter and I. So it's called the Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress, and they own this gigantic piece of property, which is so rare. It's in Orlando. Scooter walked at one point with his father and I from the hotel to downtown Disney, but normal people probably wouldn't do that. But they have a shuttle to Disney Springs. Doesn't look like they have a shuttle to the parks, unfortunately. Maybe they do now, though. So if you go into the theme parks, and I think we learned the hard way the first time we stayed here, that Universal's pretty far from this hotel. But this is the thing they give you when you check in. This is from quite a few years ago as well. So some things are different. And they do have a resort fee now. That's what Scooter says, if you, we've talked about this on the show. And again, consult your own. We're just podcasters. But if you look at your spending for the year and your goals and your vacation goals, you may be able to achieve hotel status through a combination of stays and using a hotel credit card. And then you don't have to pay, you could use the points to stay there, but also depending on your status and if it's a free stay, you don't have to pay for parking or a resort fee. And so that saves you a lot of money. And then on top of that, depending on which status you achieve and those things, you get free breakfast. So this place was great. Now, this was, again, right when things were opening back up. So it was, there was more of lines and stuff like that. But let's go through. So we didn't go to any of the restaurants other than to eat breakfast. But a lot of these Hyatts now have an ice cream place. This one did. It was only open on weekends at night. Then they have a Starbucks and, place where you get sodas and stuff like that. They have a bar and grill. They also have a parrot in the lobby. That's not a restaurant. Then they have a pool bar and then another restaurant. It looks like they have a couple other restaurants they were trying to get up. But they also had activities. This was on the weekend. They had a duck derby, a cornhole. These were at the pool, I think. A hula hoop contest, an inner tube river relay, and make your own slime. That was $5. Everything else was included in your resort fee. And then they would have nightly activities or nightly movies at the pool for children, where you could do, and actually on Friday and Saturdays, 2 movies. There's a shuttle to Disney Springs Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There was one time we were staying there, because I think we've stayed there twice, and I would stay there every time. But again, sometimes it's harder to book. But yeah, the shuttle goes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, starting at 4:30 to Disney Springs. But there was one time it was a Wednesday, and Scooter said, "Let's go get the shuttle, hurry." Every 30 minutes on, starting at 4:30, leaves Disney Springs on the 15s. Last shuttle leaves at 10 p.m. But the main thing about this place, and maybe we talked about it, are the activities. So there is a small conference center, so sometimes there's a conference. But they have a lake there, like a drainage basin lake. But again, you could rent things that come with your resort fee, different kind of boats, and go out on the lake. But they also have bikes, and you could go, because they have this huge tennis facility that doesn't seem to be really used, maybe back, but where they could have huge tennis tournaments. And then beyond that, they just have some open property. It looks like there was even a train that ran through there at one point. So it's just fun to ride a bike or for Scooter to go for a run. And there's even a couple homes on the property, which is mind-blowing to me. But yeah, they have a health club. Oh no, Scooter looked in there one time. They have 2 hot tubs, splash pad. Oh, fishing. I didn't realize you could go fishing. Oh, poles available for purchase, though. 12 tennis courts, a rock climbing wall. That always had a line. Basketball, volleyball. We did play some volleyball. Fire pit. So highly recommended is, I guess, what I'm saying. Okay, how old is this one? This is from Germany and Epcot. Probably at least a few years ago. It's starting to fade, but we can see that Scooter had a large root beer, and a bratwurst combo. Where's the date on here? So Germany has, what is this called? Summerfest window. So they have, like, you get pretzels and beer at one thing in Germany. Then they have a buffet, a restaurant. It used to be buffet, then it was family style. I don't know if it's a buffet again. That's called the Beer Garden, I think. And we've eaten there twice. Once when Scooter used to drink, and then once when he didn't. And there's usually like a band that performs. So it's pretty nice. But this one is the takeout window. You could get bratwurst. I don't know what else you get. A large root beer, of course. I'd just like to know the date of the time here, just so it helps me create a picture in my mind of Scooter eating bratwurst, drinking a root beer. There's also a restroom in Germany, which, of course, Scooter would have needed. It's outside of the area with the restaurants and stuff, over to the side. And they also have trains, what are those called, model trains over there. I'm not going to give up till I see a time. Somewhere around here, there has to be a time and a date, because you can't charge a credit card without it, I don't believe. Expiration dates. His card was tapped. Success. Well, this is strange. Oh, no, that can't be right. There's no, well, that's for a survey. This is frustrating, because usually there's a time on there. I'm looking. Don't worry. I'm scouting this thing out. It was 1627, by the way, for the combo. I guess the combo probably comes with bratwurst and chips, I believe. But I cannot find a time. So unfortunately, we don't know if Scooter was having like a lunch, a dinner, and he was only ordering for him. So I guess I had said no, thank you. If he remembered to ask me, of course. Okay, so bummer. All right, next up, another soda refill from another trip. Let's just see what time of day it is. 10:09, Scooter. But I think this one is like usually his daughter. Yeah, this is at the Lagoon Popcorn number 75. So this one I know what happened here. So what you do is you go in. And if you go to, this is at, what's that called? This says Universal Studios, though. So I can't picture this place. Oh, no, I can. So I was trying to figure out where this place was. Because I thought it was in, like, Toon Lagoon, which I still think it is. Maybe they're just saying Universal Studios Florida as a whole, park as a whole. But yeah, this was at 10:09 a.m. Because usually what we do is you go left at Superhero Island, right? And if you're there early, you could try to go on the Hulk or Spider-Man before the crowds really build. And you can always go on Doctor Doom, because that doesn't usually have a line. Also, most of those have single rider lines, which you can, and you can kind of see what happens with those. But even Doctor Doom has a single rider line, just so you know. And that has the best view. Not for everybody. It's a tower that goes up and down. But then after you exit Superhero Island, you get to Toon Lagoon. And you go through like an area that's a bit cluttered. And then you move on and you get to Dudley Do-Right. And you're going a bridge over Dudley Do-Right, either before or after the bridge is a popcorn stand that also serves ices. And Scooter's daughter likes to get an icy there. So I'm guessing that's where that was. But I'm not positive. We are making a big dent in this bag of things. Oh, boy, so this is a pretty big one. Okay, this is also in Orlando. Very old, so this is quite a few years ago. What time of day? 5:26, is that what that says? I think it says 5:26. It's so old it's starting to fade. And we used a meal card for this. We used a beverage snack credit. Looks like we used one of them. Oh, wow. And we got an Oreo donut and a glazed donut. It looks like we only used one snack. So they charged us only one snack for the... and we still had 3 snacks and two meals. And they don't have the dining plan anymore. Scooter tried it out this one time we went to see how it went. Okay, so this one's interesting. So this is at where Scooter was visiting his parents at one point. And he spent $92.96 at Publix. And I'm trying to think of like a lot of desserts here. When I don't know, I want to see a time and things and a date, so at least the time of the year. Okay, so summertime. This was when he went to see his parents, and then he was going to help relocate the car. And let's just see, a lot of bathroom supplies, but also some non-dairy ice cream, dairy ice cream. Jenny's ice cream at Publix a few years ago was only $7.99 a pint. Public premium something, 2 for $7. Then bathroom stuff, allergy stuff, cauliflower, mouthwash, salad, 2 salads, Diet Dr. Pepper, root beer 0, cream soda 0, and lemon lime spindrift. So bathroom and moisture. So this might have been when he was stocking up to stay with his parents and driving the car. Okay, this one is definitely, is this even from a vacation? I don't think so. Maybe it is. BJ's. Oh, no. So this was Scooter was picking somebody. I know what trip this was. No. Does that make sense? The dates? Yeah, I guess so. I think this is when Scooter was picking someone up at the airport, and his car did not make it home from this trip. So we went to BJ's. I guess so. Oh, yeah, because it was before 4th of July. So that makes sense. It was in the summertime, they paid at 7:30 p.m. This was a year ago, but again, this place was still having trouble getting back to full operation because Scooter remembered, they had to pick someone up at the airport. They were lucky they had time. And Scooter had a glass of root beer. One of us had a lavender lemonade, and we got a cookie dessert and a large pizza. But then the car did not make it back. We picked someone up at the airport, and Scooter's car did not make it back from the airport. But it all worked out, actually, because it for Scooter, it was a little bit. But he went back the next day. Oh, so he got his car. It had some sort of complication because his car is like electric, but with a little bit of gas. But it totally broke down. But he got off the freeway, and then he was able to kind of get it to move on the little left of the battery to finally get it like after an hour to a charging place where we left the car, and then we took an Uber. Then the next day, Scooter took an Uber back, drove the car to a repair place. It was still covered under warranty. And actually, that was like before we went back east to see Scooter's family. And so, he was able to leave his car to get repaired while he was gone. Okay, this is another trip. So this is in the land. A lot of Disney receipts we keep from these trips here. This is a flatbread, a cheese pizza, a milk, a mashed potato, and applesauce. It must be a kid's meal. Yeah, flatbread with applesauce and mashed potatoes and a milk. That's all we got. I don't know if he got this for his nephew. I don't know, maybe what time of year is this? I don't know. When does Disney stop putting the times on the receipts? Unfortunately, I'm not finding anything. So this is not if this is a new trend with Disney in the last few years, it's not a good thing for us. But that place is nice. It's called the Sunshine Seasons. We did propose, on the podcast that they put in a food rocks just while you eat the food there because they must have it somewhere. Okay, this is also from Downtown Disney, I believe, La Cantina. Scooter got a Coke. That's all he got. Now, this is not a Disney. So this one does have the time, 17:59. So that's 5:59 p.m. And that's all we bought. I don't know if that was an outside stand and Scooter just needed a Coke. But it was one Coke. Okay, this one is from summertime in Syracuse. It's Twin Trees 2. And I guess this is a pickup because, you know what this was? When I believe Scooter almost, this was a birthday pickup for Scooter's, I think for one of Scooter's brothers. I don't know. But it was, this was when, I believe, I'm positive. This was when Scooter and his father and I and Sophia drove the car from Florida to Syracuse, New York. But on the way, Scooter said, well, it was dinner time when we were going to arrive. So Scooter said, let's get Twin Trees. We'll order it and pick it up. Maybe he had someone else order it. Because, someone else ordered it, and we just picked it up because it was a large order. So it was a Wednesday. So there was a special with a cheese pizza, 2 Caesar salads, some chicken wings, then another pizza, 3 pizzas. So this must have been Scooter's whole family. And I remember Scooter really had to use the restroom. Picked it up at 7. The time, we were supposed to pick it up was 7:20 p.m. It was ordered at 6 p.m. And I just remember Scooter. He was driving, and he was like, "I gotta use the restroom here." Okay, this is also from the summertime in Pulaski, New York. R&R One Stop, which is a gas station. It has ice cream. It has fudge. And it looks like Scooter bought some fudge, which was $6.50. Something else that's no longer there with only 3 letters. Then a bottle of Coke, $2.22. Holy moly. Oh, then a couple more. Oh, minus 220. Oh, 2 donuts, candy, and I don't know what that is. But he got some. They have cinnamon sugar donuts there that are very good. And I got one last receipt we'll do here, and then we'll say goodnight to everybody. And this one's from a few years ago. This was Scooter bought a mug, and it was, he still uses this mug to this day. So this was like at Disney resorts. You can only use it at the hotels, but you get your mug, your soda mug. And Scooter bought one that costs a little bit more money because it's like a metal mug. It's plastic on the outside, but metal on the inside. So it holds, and it has Star Wars characters on it. And Scooter bought that at the hotel and on some trip. This one does have the time, so it's an older one, 21:35. Is it midnight? 24. So almost 9:30 p.m. Oh, because we got there late. This was another time Scooter really had to use the restroom. Not when he bought the mug, but when he got to this hotel. It was pouring rain. And he was rushing, Scooter rushes, that's fine. And we got in there, and he really had to go to the potty. And then he bought the mug at some point after that. But yeah, that's a good night, everybody. From my friend Ray. And if you're having trouble filing things, know that you're not alone. Scooter's there too. Good night, everybody. All right, I want to thank some people that supported sponsors in the last couple months when I'm recording this, but A lot of them supported companies that didn't stay with us into 2023. But I just want to take time to thank some of these people because, again, it took the time to do it. Probably will still thank you on the Supporter Zone. But just like when we're recording this, like looking to pump up the sponsors we still have. But I want to thank Court, Kate, and Christina. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Mirella, Pope, and Laura. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Leor, Beck, and Deborah. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Holly, Anna, and Ellie. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Egrup, Jess, and Chanchin. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Hoff, Zoe, and Kate. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Cornelia, Tet, and Joe. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Katie, Florian, and Urban. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Lindsay, Kate, and Robin. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Scott, Nancy, and Margaret, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Paul, Allison, and Elizabeth, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Javi, Tina, and Craig, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Claire, Brendan, Ryan, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Jennifer, Wendy, and Tori, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Kim, Jeff, and Heather, thank you. Thanks, and good night. So thanks for everybody's support. Thanks. You can support the sponsors. You can support the show directly, or you can support the show for free just by spreading the word, letting people know about not just Sleep With Me, just podcasts in general, and soft selling them on listening to podcasts and what a podcast app is, but kind of in an indirect way. So then they either ask you for help or they do it themselves and then ask for help. I found other ways haven't been effective for me. So anyway, those are ways to help out the podcast. We got over 500 free shows in the archives, and that's possible. Either Scoots will be here next up asking or be a sponsor. Thanks so much. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Because you've heard me talking about my Helix for years. Anytime I leave home, I feel forlorn for my Helix Dusk Luxe. Because I love it, because it fits my needs. And I have tons of family members and friends who have gotten their own Helixes. You deserve a Helix. Helix is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a luxury collection, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, even a mattress just for kids. And how do you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Take that Helix sleep quiz I talked about. You'll find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. And that mattress is shipped straight to your door, free of charge. You get to try it out by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why Helix offers a 100-night risk-free trial. You can see how your body adjusts, and if it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return it for a full refund. And the best part about Helix is they know everybody's unique and you sleep differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each for a different sleep position and feel preference. There's mattresses with memory foam for optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. More responsive foam to cradle your body and give you essential support for stomach and back sleeping positions. Enhanced cooling features to keep you from overheating. And if your spine needs some extra TLC, they got you. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design. Individually wrapped steel coils with premium foam layers on top. Perfect combination of comfort and support. When I took the Helix quiz, I got matched with the Helix Dusk Luxe because I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach, and I sleep hot. I want something that keeps me cool and comfortable, and the Helix Dusk Luxe does that for me. Not only is it the best mattress I've ever slept on, but the setup was fast and easy, straight to my door. All I had to do was open the box and set it up on my bed. Plus, Helix mattresses, American-made, come with a 10 or 15-year warranty, depending on your model. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. Like I said, if you don't love it, I mean, I know you will, but if you don't, they pick it up for you. They'll give you a full refund. And if you don't want to take my word for it, Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine, even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. And Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.